Hey to all, I'm Elizabeth White from Liz's Room, and I have somebody very special with me today. I'm so excited. We met her 10 years ago on The Real World Portland, and she's back on our TV screens on May 11th with All Stars Season 3, The Challenge. I welcome to y'all the beautiful Nia Moore.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here, Liz.
I'm so happy you're here with me, and I can't believe it's been 10 years since,
I know.
you appeared on our TV screen. I was in high school watching you.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
The Real World is such an iconic show, and I feel like it opened the doors for so many other reality shows. So how was the process, auditioning, to get on that show and all that?
So I had just graduated from Howard, and I remember I was talking to some of my friends on campus, and they were like, "Oh, what are you going to do after college?" And I'm like, and I'm listening to them. They're all serious. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to law school. I'm going into the corporate world." And I was just like jokingly, I was like, "I'm going to be a cocktail waitress and go on the real world." And I just wanted to see their reaction. And And I'm like, no way. Like, I think I was just driving down the street possibly and saw this and asked what the line was for. And then from there, I went in and did the audition. It was kind of a round table thing. So it was a
Okay.
lot of people. But afterwards, I talked to a producer and I said, I really want to do this. That's not a testament to, like, I put something out there in the universe and I was open hearted. Wasn't like I needed it to happen so badly. I was just kind of joking. And that's why I'm like, be careful what you wish for, be careful what you say. There's life and death in the tongue, honey.
Yeah.
And it's just wild that that came about.
I know your season is by far one of my favorite seasons for so many reasons. One of them being the fact that you held your own, you came in and you can just tell by watching you, you're being authentic. you
Oh,
know, and then of course when Hurricane Nia came out, I was rooting for her. Can you talk about the aftermath of like being on that show, that whole experience and then coming home and like what happened after?
yeah. Believe it or not, I've never been in a fist fight in my life up until that point. So when people saw that, I think because of how aggressive I was and the fact that I honestly was unwilling to stop fighting once we got to that point, they thought that like this is a reflection of who she is.
Mhm.
And it just wasn't. Like I'd never been put in a position like that where I had to get physical. I always been able to like use my words and like verbal combat, and that's been good enough. But it just got to a point where I think things had boiled over to where there was nowhere else to go. I've never been a person that's ever had regret, but the woman that I am today, now knowing the consequences of those decisions, I would have absolutely walked away. But the consequences that happened afterwards, people just assumed I was a mean girl, I was nasty, or I was, angry or combative or would fight, be violent towards them. And that part broke my heart because no one else in the world in my group of friends and my family saw me as that. But that is what I displayed. And if that's all people have to see of you or have ever seen of you, then it's fair for them to judge you based on that. 4 years went by and I decided that I wanted to be a corporate flight attendant. And it was like the one industry I was like, okay, I'm actually going to pursue this. This is something that I know I can do well in. I can travel the world. I'd been in service industry jobs like my entire 20s. The minute I started applying, people were flying me out to different companies for interviews and I just wasn't getting the job. And one day, one of the companies finally told me, she goes, I think no one's being honest with you and telling you the reason why you're not getting hired, but it's because of whatever this stuff is that you did some years back on reality television. It makes you look like a risk to hire because the environment you're asking to work in is the 1%, the world's elite, the people who are powerful, the people that, you know, they are paying for discretion. They're paying to do whatever the hell they want to do on their airplanes. I think a lot of companies were afraid of how is she going to react. And once I realized that, because I had at that point become friends with these people that I had had these previous transgressions with, and we had all healed from it. And I got to therapy, and like I was a totally different person. But yeah, I was being condemned for the girl that I used to be. And I had to sit in that and accept it and realize that, yeah, my consequences maybe didn't come to me right at the moment when I had chose to behave that way, but they sure as hell always find you. Long story short, I am a corporate flight attendant. I have been for almost 6 years now. I love my career. I mean, I have a great reputation. I work for amazing people. I bust my ass to get in the door. I had to wait a year and a half before anyone let me in. All in all, I'm not a victim. I think, I'm glad that the consequences came to me when they did. Everything happened as it should, but I'm just thankful that I also did the work and chose to put that version of me, Hurricane Naya, to rest.
Now, also, you were on the Challenge Free Agents and then you were also on Battle of the Exes too. So, how does it feel being back in the house after like a 6 year hiatus from competing?
Oh my God. It's seven. It was 7 years. Producers called me for All Stars 3 and I thought it was a joke. And I'm like, first of all, I'm like 33 years old. I'm washed up. I have bad knees. I haven't been working out all summer. Like, why would I even go there? And then number two, you know how Black people are. We're like, who is all going? I
Yeah.
need to know, like, who's
Yeah.
in the room? Like, what is this really about? And they assured me that they're like, Nia, it's going to be different. It's not like the main show. Like, these people are on All Star Street are at better places in their life. They're older, they're wiser, they have families, they have things to lose just like you do. I said, well, let me think about it. Then Jordan comes over my house one day. We're just like grilling out, hanging out at the pool. And I told him, I was like, you see how I start smiling differently when I say his name?
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say anything just yet, but I'm like,
Okay. So he comes over and I told him, I said, yeah, so they call me for this All Stars thing. And he's like, yeah, they call me too. And I'm like, what? I'm like, wait a minute. Why would you be on the All Stars one? Like, why aren't you going on the main one? He thinks that, they maybe just give him a break from the other one based on some conversations that came out about he and I's past and whatnot. And I said, well, listen, if you're going to do this and you can promise me, because I know you're a big time actor now and a clothing designer, you have your hands in all these different pots. I need to know that if I say yes, you're going to be there. If I get to the airport and you're not there, I'm going to fucking kill you. And then, of course, I asked my employers, I said, how do you guys feel about it? If you say no, I'm not doing it. And they all were like, oh, hell yeah, go. It sounds fun. So the great thing about going back to do this challenge after a 7-year hiatus was doing it in Panama. That's exactly where we left off the last time. So that was like a full circle moment. Doing it with Jordan, the person who I got kicked off for, violating him the last time. And for us to be going back into this hand in hand, knowing that like our love is for real. We've done the work. It has been years and years of really taking time to get to know each other, healing from our own traumas, giving each other grace, forgiveness, understanding, and just only subscribing to unconditional love and loyalty towards each other or nothing else at all.
bringing up Jordan, there have been rumors circling the internet for years. And, recently you guys were hanging out at Cameron Leewart's baby shower. As a fellow challenge fan, I have to do my due diligence and ask you, what's up with you guys? Are you guys just friends, more than friends?
So I guess I can break the news with you first. We are engaged. I'm just kidding.
I was like, what? Wait, what? I'm like, my heart.
No, we are friends. I mean, he's like my brother. He's like a friend. He's like my mentor. He's a person who I look up to. He's a personal hero of mine.
So I guess that just sounds rumors of people wanting you guys to be together because you use the brother word. So I feel like
brother. He's a brother. He's a lover. He's
okay.
I always joke, I'm like, in another universe, Jordan and I were soulmates, like in another lifetime.
But I feel like people can feel that because, people wouldn't be saying this for years about you if, people didn't genuinely feel something, just you guys together. And hopefully we'll see that, in this new season as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys are gonna
do you actually have a favorite moment from filming, this season?
I would say arriving to the house was just like, oh, I mean, I'm just a girl who loves opulence and luxury and just like all the finer things in life. And this house was like so beautiful. I remember saying, I'm gonna find out who owns it, find him a LinkedIn and like give him a week because I want this to be like my vacation home. It's so beautiful.
Before you go, I like to play a little game with my guests. So I need you to pick 3 letters.
My letters are N, J, P.
So using those 3 letters, I want you to find 3 words that you would use to describe yourself today and then say why you picked all those words.
Okay. N, new. Okay. Who I am today is a new person. My spirit is new. My soul is new. My appetite for life, my desires are new. The way I handle things are new. I'm excited about that. The second letter was J, journeyed, meaning I have been in a lot of places. I've seen a lot of things. I've met a lot of people. I've heard a lot of stories. And I have evolved in my ideology and what I value and who it is that I aim to become because of the roads that I've walked, mostly alone, the places that I've gone, the people that I've met. So I think that, journeyed for sure. And especially, I'm a flight attendant, so that's very on brand. P, I picked P because my middle name is Pearl. And I was named after my great aunt. My father named me after her. But P, I would say, I want to say patient, but I'm really not sometimes. I'm going to say peaceful. Peace. That's one of the things when I wake up every morning. I just say, thank you, God. And I ask for peace. I ask for stillness. I ask for grace, to just go about my day and do everything that I can and have peace about the things that I cannot and not to rush myself. And all those things that I named, I give myself, and I think that everyone watching this can give themselves as well, because it is damn good. Like when you get to the other side of it, it's like, I wish I would have done this sooner. I wish I would have arrived to this point in my 20s. Like, where would I be, you know?
I love all the those for yourself. I can feel it. I do want to thank you for taking the time out to speak with me today. And you
Thank
can tell
you, Liz.
everybody where to follow you if they don't know.
Yeah. So my Instagram, and well, I really just use Instagram. It's really simple. The real Nia Moore. That's NIAMOORE. Just follow my Instagram. Like, it's really all there. My restaurant recommendations, places that I go on my travels. I like to plug a lot of people and just kind of, show love that way. But I also have the recipe blog, which is Beauty and the Feast with an S on the end.com.
Okay. Well, you can catch Nia's Real World Portland season on Paramount Plus right now, and you can catch her past seasons of the challenge, and you can catch her May 11th on the challenge season 3 of All Stars. I'm excited for you. I'm rooting for you all the way.
Thank you.
I can't wait. I'm Elizabeth White, and I will see y'all next time in Liz's room.
Thank you, Liz.